Alrighty, I'm sitting in the chair, getting set up. You'd think I'd be set up ahead of time. Well, the truth is I really am. I've checked out all these cameras and make sure everything is... See how the wheels work now? Golly gee whiz, Batman, it feels like I just did a show just a few nights ago, and it's already Friday night again? Wow. What's this wire doing here? Where is the cable manager? Cable management, as I've been told. Oh my God, I forgot to turn on the overhead. The overhead camera. I wanted to show you this, and I wanted to show you this. I want to show you that, and I can't show you any of it now because the cable management is not on, and it's all Scott's fault. It's Scott's fault because he's out playing all different kinds of places and singing and playing fantastic piano, and I was paying so much attention to Scott that I just didn't get everything in order. Chair feels good. I did the coffee thing again. I did stay up rather late, you know. I put a little bit less than a quarter of a teaspoon, but how can you measure that little? Okay. So, but I did put a little extra sugar, but not on purpose. But boy, does it taste good. All right. Hi, guys. I'm saying hello officially in the camera. I just got out of the shower. Does my hair still look wet? No, but now it looks frizzy because I just used the hairdryer to dry it. Oh, well. There's a song written about me. You're so vain. I know. I have to check my face, my hair, everything. Golly gee whiz, Batman. There we go. Yep, the coffee tastes good. The coffee tastes cold. Welcome, everybody. This is a Sony. This is a Sony A7C Mark II. Mouthful, eh? All right, this thing is now rubbing my cheek. It's too far onto one ear and not deep enough into the other. See, now it brings it off my cheek. See how it, if you fairly look at this here, see it's a little thin wire. Okay, if this shifts over, then it actually makes contact with my cheek. And, you know, it sounds silly, but you wouldn't like somebody doing this to you all night long, would you? It would just be annoying as, yeah, the double hockey sticks. So, anyway. Cheers to the ones that are having delicious coffee. So I took the A7C out of its hole and I put another camera there. And it's the one we're looking at right now. Wow. Like right on cue. So it is right on cue. I put the Olympus from where the camera was right in front of my face. I moved it over there. I actually changed the Kelvin from 2600 to 2900. I hope it remembers. And it made my face look much more natural now. So that is what's going on that side of the room. So I got an inquiry from Facebook, and the guy said, I want to come over tonight and buy your cami. And I said, well, inside, I said, no, I don't want to sell this camera. But outside, I said, okay. And then I started chatting, and then I remembered, oh, this is Facebook, the land of liars. No offense, okay? I've sold quite a few things on Facebook, and yes, I am grateful. But those people, there's no skin in the game. They'll tell you anything. So finally I said, well, I'm not going to make this a 3-hour conversation. All right. So I finally said, this is all in typing. Okay. I've not communicated with him with the mouth yet. So it's not mouth to mouth yet. We haven't done mouth to mouth. Get your mind out of the gutter. Okay. So I said, send me your phone. I'll call you and we can make arrangements. Because I was going to tell him I have a show tonight. This was about 7 o'clock my time. Miami time, specifically Miami time. Okay. So I said, send me your phone number and I will, call you. We can make arrangements. So if he had called, he did not. Okay. I would have said, I got a show to do tonight. Would you rather do this tomorrow in the morning? Or are you really hot for the camera? You can come after the show. I'm still setting myself up. If you're wondering what the hell all the fidgeting is about. I would say I drank half my coffee. So the coffee is designed to keep me awake. Because I had dinner at Pollo Tropical, which is like a Latin-style chicken, which means it's very lemon, lime, spices, that type of like Mexican. Think Mexican, but not Mexican because they would get offended. Okay, so, but after I eat, I get sleepy. And so I'm having the coffee. I put a quarter of a teaspoon of instant regular coffee and then another full teaspoon of decaf in the coffeeolator. The machine. Putocanito cafe. Oh, I'm speaking to you in Greek. You don't understand the Greek? Okay, I don't speak it to you in the Greek. I speak it to you in the English. So I make a cup of coffee and I put a few ice cubes and I sweeten it with monk fruit. There we are. We're on the ZV-1, the little baby camera that's not sexy. Nobody wants it. But look at what a heck of a great picture it puts out for EcammLive. Okay? Just the way it is. So I put the FX2, which is what you were watching a minute ago, and I moved the Olympus from this side of the room because it's an 85 millimeter lens, and I put it to that side of the room, but it's not really the room. It's on this side of the TV, which I'm using as a monitor, over to that side of the TV. So now we are actually broadcasting with the FX2. It'll get there eventually. But we are Sony, Olympus, Nikon. And I just forgot to plug in the Nikon. If I need it, I'll get up and I'll plug it in. It's no big deal. All I have to do is walk around here. The camera's right there. When we get over to the Olympus, you'll see if you've got good eyes. I know Scott's got good eyes. Many times he finds things in here. I didn't even know we're in this room. And he'll say, over there in the corner where you... Okay? And I'll say, oh, he's right. What's it doing over there? Huh. Volare. Oh, let's test the... the reverb last week was not good. Okay, so this is we were talking about you, okay? So I'm not sure if it's in this shot, but yeah, it might be. You can see the corner of the LCD, and it's right in line with my hand. So if you go over there, it's right there, okay? Anyway, you didn't need to know that, did you? So I put the Olympus there, the ZV-1 stayed there, and the FX2 is over actually where the original Nikon Z6 Mark III was. And ironically, the Olympus, this guy, used to be in that spot years ago. It actually goes back, it dates back to my old, Christmas room. So, that's it. Show's over. I said everything I had to say. No, actually, I just got an email from, it isn't personal. I don't know the guy. Okay, Joel Osteen, Lakewood Church, the biggest church in the United States. They're canceling their services in live form. In other words, the church won't be open on this Sunday because there's something terrible going on with the weather. I even called Randy. I said, what the hell's going on up there? Hi, FX2. Is this the first time that you're broadcasting in here, FX2, or did I put you in here once before? I can't remember, but I haven't had you in here for ages. So this is what the Canon, wrong. Nikon, no, that was a joke. The Canon was a slip-up. All right, so this is what the Sony FX2 looks like broadcasting. I did a quick tuning in, but I'm so used to doing tuning ins that I could get pretty close right off the bat. I don't even see anything that I would want to change. So I would want to confirm that I'm on f1.4 because this is an f1.4 lens. It's the Zeiss, the Sony Zeiss lens. So Randy's is on my case. He's tired of me always bitching and moaning that I can't buy this and I can't buy that because they took away my credit cards because of the lawsuit and part of it, blah, blah, blah. You guys that have been here long enough know what the story is. Anyway, there's something I want to buy. I need a credit card. A credit card, you know. So I finally I finally got a credit card last week. It's one of those where you have to put money up and then you can use it. In other words, they don't trust you. You put the money there. It's a deposit credit card. I couldn't think of the word deposit. So I actually do have a credit card. But Randy was going like, no. I was talking to Randy because I said, oh, I don't really want to sell this camera. I love this camera. And he said, I want you to sell the camera and pay down the credit card. You could buy the camera back again because you'll be getting a nice chunk of money every month because they suck out all your money. Yes. So what they did is I had to turn my credit cards in. And when I did that, they took over the debt. They took the debt and cut it in half, which was like a miracle for me, but it's wonderful. But they suck the money out every month right out of your bank. You don't even have the opportunity to welch on paying them. It's direct sucking out, whatever they call it, direct pay. So he says, I want you to sell the camera and I want the money to go. You've got some really nice cameras there. And look at the picture. I have some nice cameras here. Okay. I have some cameras. I'm very blessed. So, and Randy says, I'm right there behind you. I'm right there to help you. And so on and so forth. And if the guy follows through, I'm going to sell this camera. So even though we're talking about the FX2 tonight, this is the A7C Mark II. Mighty fine camera. It gets its dings and bings and bangs from people that, they got to make content. They get on like I'm on. Got to have something to talk about. So let's talk about how bad the Olympus EM1 Mark II is and be really picking on the camera when in truth, it's what? A 5, 6, 7, 8. It's either an 8 or a 9-year-old camera. The EM1 Mark II. And I got a really high quality lens on here. Many times it's the lens that makes the difference in the camera. If you watch Randy's videos, you'll see when he puts on a Nikon lens and then when he puts on another brand. I don't want to knock any of the other brands because I actually own some of them. And you could tell. You can tell when there's a really high quality lens that's in the mix versus a lens that is, I'm just going to get a little comfortable here, versus a lens that's the original manufacturer's lens. So one of the exceptions with that is the Lumix. The Lumix camera, they make their own lenses, true, but Sigma makes some of their lenses also, true, and Sigma makes some of Leica's lenses, those $4,000 or $5,000, true. Did you know that? But it's true, okay? So this is what the FX2 looks like. Let's see. I don't know if I got any latitude in here, but if I do, I would like to move this way. That looks much better to me. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? You don't like it? Sue me. I've been sued before. Been there, done that. Had my coffee. I don't know why this thing tastes so much better tonight. I must have done something. I'll have to remember what I did to make it. All right, so let's say hi to the people that I'm sure are saying hi to me. Scotty's in here first tonight. Okay, so that means you didn't go out tonight to play. Oh, wait, this is going to mess up. Let me turn you off real quick, Scotty. I'm supposed to... I had to change all the labels on the camera. See the labels in the upper right-hand corner where it says FX2, and each one has been relabeled by me. But I have to unlock it to do that, okay? So now I just locked them all down. And let's see if we can get... let's see if I can get Scott back. Where did that Scott go? Scott. Okay, so now his words are not showing up, but he says howdy. And Hal is in here, and his words are not showing up, and he says howdy. And Randy, his words are not showing up. All right, so it's got to be something I did, something I had to change. Okay, so let's go up to a camera that's not spinning, and this one's a safe one. Okay, now we'll go into here and edit and see what did I change. I changed the font, apparently. All right, let's pay attention. Text color. It says that it's white. We'll change it to black. And save. Okay. So now we'll go back to Scotty. Okay, so now I need to find where it says Scott. That's up here. Boy, Scotty, you got a big one. What happened to your, All right, guys, make fun of the Peter. That's 2 in a row. All right, so what should be the text color for, was red. So I was doing red and black. Can we do something different? How about blue? We'll try it. Now I know how to change it. So now, Scott, and I got the sizes in reverse. So what I want is Scott to be, well, yeah, people like their name big, don't they? But that's too big, don't you think, Scotty? It's at 48. Let's put it at 36. Let's put it at 24. If it's not big enough, you guys tell me. That's not big enough. All right. So it was at 48. Even Scott, I can hear him. No, I don't want to be little. And I changed him to 24. Let's change him. I forgot what we started at. 48. We'll try 36. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing up the text, and I'm changing the size. So Scott Rogers, okay, and the howdy. So that looks good to me. Looks good to you guys? All right. I'm sure somebody's going to complain, right? We got how many people in here? I'm sure somebody's going to complain. So we'll go back and turn the cameras that are not shifting around and come in here. Now we'll start over. Hey, it's Friday night, and here's Scotty is in the house. I'm used to seeing the name Scotty in red. Oh, but it matches my shirt. And he is saying howdy. And good old Hal's in here. Hi, Hal. Good to see you, buddy. Say hi to Debbie. I don't want to forget her because she's always so nice to me, and I'm going to be nice to her. So I do need to sing. So I'm going to sing to Debbie. I need to find out if my reverb is better. I cut it in half last week, and now I cut it in half again. The number. Okay, so if it was a 10, 5, now it's a 2.5. Happy Friday to Debbie. Happy Friday to Debbie. Happy Friday, dear Debbie, darling. Happy Friday to you. All right, so the reason I did that is after the show is over, I will go back and listen to it, and I will tell myself good or not good and what I would want to change. So I sang Happy Birthday last week to... I can sing Happy Birthday. It's my relative. It's my, like a sister. She's a sister to me. Okay? So I can sing Happy Birthday to her. But let me check real quick and see if anybody says it's bad. Pop, she says there's no complaints. Okay. So I will sing Happy Birthday to Maria. Happy birthday, Maria. Happy birthday, Maria. Happy birthday, darling, wonderful Maria. Happy birthday to you. Ah, Maria. There's a song. Maria, I just met a girl named Maria, and everything has changed. My heart is blinking hard, la la. Too bad I don't know the words. It's a beautiful song. Okay, so anyway, now I did my happy birthday. I sang to Debbie and Maria, said hi to Scotty and Hal. Oh, Randy. There he goes. Raindrops. Oh, he's got me in the mood. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Da 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 da. All right, so there is Randy. How you doing, Randy? He's in the area where the weather outside is frightful. The fire, she's so delightful. So, hi, Randy. I'm surprised you're up, actually. Ordinary filmmaker. Oh my goodness, is Simon in the cold weather up there? Yeah, you guys, we're kind of immune. Oh, actually, we're going to have cold weather for a week, but it won't be coming until, I'll tell you. We're going to be getting some chilly weather. It's going to be quite cold. But if you want to let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. All right, so today the low is going to be 68. Tomorrow, Saturday night, the low will be 69. And then Sunday, the low will be 69 again. And then Sunday, we start into a slide. Slide, slide, slide. Okay, it'll go to, on Monday, it'll be 57. On Tuesday, 47. Wednesday, 48. Then 48. Then 45. Then 46. And then next Sunday, it'll be 55 and rainy. So the rain means that there'll be new weather coming through. Where am I? ZV1. Okay. So now you've all seen each of the cameras. Tell me, you like everything? Anything need to be changed? Because everything is kind of new, but I did check it. I promise. Going to have to make me another coffee. Wait till Roy comes in talking about coffee, and he's going to go, I need coffee. So Simon, I haven't heard or talked to you in a long time. I didn't call. I don't know why, but he's saying, hi, Peter. Hi, Simon. Hello, Simon. How you doing up there so far away? Way up in Canada. Oh, Canada. That's where Simon is. and Liam and Mommy and Coffee too. He knows what that means. That's the name of his dog, is Coffee. Good to see you, Simon. You are always been a blessing to me. It's fantastic. So good to see you. And Randy is saying hi to Scott, Hal, and Simon. Randy's on the ball. Oh, he's saying hi to Peter. The good old Peter is in the room. Oh, see, Simon is telling the truth about I wasn't lying. Minus 19 here tonight. Brrr. And what if the power goes out? Do you know what to do if the power goes out? I just watched the video on emergency power. Minus 32 degrees in Alaska, and their boiler went out. I think the boiler is what gives you heat for the house, correct? If I got that wrong, I'm sure somebody will straighten my ASS out. Okay, so anyway, minus 19 degrees. Madonna mia. And up in Oklahoma, where Sly is, that is going to be getting clobbered too. And I don't think she's feeling well. I looked to see about her show on Tuesday. She wasn't there. So that means that the bronchitis that she's fighting. Boom, boom, but it's punching back. She'll win. She's tough. So Randy says Sony ZV-1, Olympus EM1 Mark II, Sony FX2. They all look great. I used to be on the radio. Doot, doot, doot. Hi, Randy. You still awake? Let's see how long he lasts. And Simon is saying hi to Randy. And Lewis is here early tonight. God bless you, Lewis. How come you came in so early tonight? That's really wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. Yes, it is. Okay. And he says, hi, Peter and friends. And Lewis, I would pay for the camera if I had the money, Peter. I love you. I know that feeling. So, here's the FX2. We're back to here. And the Olympus was there last week. I would say the FX2 looks like it needs maybe a little bit of contrast. But I'll watch this back because it could be perfect. And it's just on the TV that I'm looking at in here. So, yep, Lewis is also in Canada. So he's getting some cool weather too. So you are selling the Panasonic S5 Mark II? Yes, I am. This is the Panasonic S5 Mark II. What a fantastic, fantabulous camera. But I'm selling it, like Randy says, with a 50mm Lumix lens, 1.8, 85mm Lumix lens, 1.8, and the Sigma 10 to 18, 2.8 native to this lens, this camera. So whoever buys that kit is going to have everything to go from vlogging to making movies. The 85 1.8 will knock your socks off at how wonderful it is. The 10 to 18 Sigma f2.8 is great for low light, for when you go out for din-din, where you visit friends. So I got that on Facebook Marketplace, okay? And I get those people that, well, I'll give you half. So I have it everything listed for $2,500, and I'm not going to bargain. It's worth more, okay? I mean, the camera does open gate, does all the stuff that you need, even though I'm not one for open gate, because to do open gate, all that means is it's a wider depth of field, not a depth of field, it's a wider field of view. And I've been having to do that with the Micro Four Thirds since I bought my first Micro Four Thirds camera. Move back, use your feet, and you've got open gate. So it's a marketing ploy. That's the way I feel. And I was just watching, what was I watching? I was watching a review, on the A7 Mark V, the Sony A7 Mark V. And the best person I like to watch when I want to watch a review, it's because of accuracy, even though he just made a big mistake. But now he's all over the place telling you about his mistake. So he'll tell you it was a mistake. Is Gerald Undone. So The man is got a set of eyes that I can mostly agree with. There's some things that he bypasses that it's for me it would be a high priority, and for him it's not. So we don't see exactly eye to eye, but then I don't see eye to eye with Randy, and we're tight like brothers. Okay. So just because you don't agree with somebody doesn't mean you dislike them. Now, there are some people that I actually agree with, and I don't like them. So it's not like I like everybody, you know. But then I would say there's only 3 that I can think of that's on YouTube that I really don't like. And because I don't like them, I don't watch them. It's simple as pie. I don't need to be judging. I don't need to be making myself upset. I don't need to be making myself doing bad things where I have to go to confession on Sunday. So I just don't watch. So, So yeah, the Lumix is up for sale, and this guy is up for sale. And my justification is whoever sells, I am going to just use the other one. Okay? Well, someone's interested in this, but now Randy's got me to the point, no, you should focus on getting that big debt paid off from the lawsuit and getting back on your feet. So he said, once you get back on your feet, you can buy any camera you want. You've got some great cameras. And you know what? What you're looking at tonight is proof of what Randy said. Okay? I have some cameras here that put out really nice stuff. So it's your ability to make the camera do what you want it to do higher. It's not out of the ballpark, but it's actually higher than the brand of the camera that you have. Now, most people will focus so heavily on, I have to have this camera, I have to have this camera. Like, this camera is one of my dream cameras. It's got almost everything, and the things that it doesn't have are minor and silly, but I call them major. Okay, it doesn't have skin smoothing on the FX2. What the hell's wrong with them? It's one of the most perfect cameras out there, is the FX2. Now, actually, my skin don't look too bad. Okay, normally I see old Peter skin. I'm 72, and where's my dark spot? Over here, okay. And when I turn this way, the dark spot is there. So it's actually doing a pretty good job with my skin. And just call me vain. You're so vain, you're so vain, you're so vain, you're so vain. Okay. So that's what we got. But the FX2, it has a memory 3 plus 3, 6 memories. So I've got it where I could just pick it up. I will set everything I hear to memories. Okay. I'll put it to memory 3 because you guys that are here know that I use the preset memory number 3. If it's got 3, most of them that I have 3. The cheaper cameras might have 1 or 2. And then I'll take it out and I'll shoot. Like tomorrow night is my sister's birthday, and I'll be going there. And either I'm going to take, what will I take? Either I'm going to take the A7C2, but it might be sold by tomorrow night. If this guy comes through, then this camera will be sold, and I really hate to see it go, because this is a beauty. This is a real beauty, okay? So some of the inside scoop, meaning some of the inside things that you need to know what's happening, is all the cameras. The Canon has got the Digic. It used to be Digic 8, Digic 9, Digic 10. I don't even know what number they're up to anymore. Okay. Nikon's got their processor. Well, Sony's got their processor too. Okay. And it's called the Bionz. B-I-O-N-Z. B-I-O-N-Z? Bionz, I think, is the way you pronounce it. So they have a processor in the camera. Like in this camera. This is the ZV-1. I had to look up to see which one we're broadcasting with. It's got a processor. So the newer cameras, Sony has doubled down. They put 2 processors of the same processor, gives it twice the punch. All right, so the A7 Mark IV. I shouldn't start naming names because I can't remember which processors in which camera, but I do know that there's the 2 processors are in this camera, and it's called the XR processor, the Bions. It used to just be the Bions processor. Then they had the Bions X, and then they had the Bions XR. So what the Bions XR is, they doubled it. So they doubled a single processor and made it fly. Okay? And then what they did after that is they added a third one, but it's not another processor. They added an AI processor for artificial intelligence and for the focusing. So now the focusing took a giant step forward in the Sony bodies. Better than Canon, better than Nikon, better than Lumix, okay? They did it, all right? But the camera world did not sit still, all right? Canon also has dual pixel autofocus Mark II, and they brought theirs to go forward. So what did I have? The R6 Mark II. I don't know if I had the dual pixel autofocus Mark II or the Mark I, but its autofocus is not as good as even this, the little baby. Okay, so that is one of the things that have been going on. So now you got 3 processors running in these cameras, and you got that going on in here. So what do you think happens when you put 3 processors in a camera? The camera's going to get warm, and then it's going to get hot. Then it's going to get overheated. Then it's going to shut down. And that's the fight that they've been fighting. Okay? Now, switch gears real quick. What did Apple do? They had their processor overheating problems. Had skipping problems in here with when I tried to broadcast in 4K because I'm a stickler for quality. So I was insisting on broadcasting in 4K. And Randy actually had me putting packs of ice cubes, like frozen peas and stuff like that. But they make these ice cube things that you freeze them, and then you use them, and then you refreeze them. You can use them over and over. So I had 3 of those right across the base of my iMac, 27-inch, my i7 iMac. And with that, I would say it cut out 85 to 90% of the stuttering. The stuttering was happening like if I went like this is smooth, all right? If I did it 3 years ago, all right, with my Intel that I was broadcasting with, either I had to broadcast with the, what did I have to broadcast? I had to broadcast in 1080, lower it out of 4K, which I didn't want to do, all right? Or I had to put the ice packs along the bottom, and then Randy and I would be looking at my show the next day all the way through the show and dissecting it to see where did it skip, okay? Then Apple did away with all that with the blink of an eye, with the flash of a flash, okay? What they did is they created their own chip. They called it the M1, and they put the graphics and the processing power, like the Intel, whatever Intel that was in there, okay, they put that all together in one chip and called it the M1. And they redid the whole thing, and it took like 1/10 the power, and it got rid of all the heat. The fan almost wouldn't go on at all when I was broadcasting with my Mac Mini, the very first one, the M1, which I still have, okay? They did away with the heat. And I think that is what just happened, okay? All over again, deja vu. Feels like there's a fly hitting the back of my head, all right? The same thing I think is happening again with the Sony, where they took all these processors, it's 3 of them, and they put it into one, and it's called the XR+, Plus or something to that effect. It's something after the XR, okay? And people have been trying to get the A7 Mark V to overheat. They're not doing it. It's not overheating. 60p, 4K, uncropped, not overheating, okay? So I think they've managed to pull what Apple did with the M1 chip. And of course they went Apple M1, M2, M3, M4. Are we higher than the M4 now? I don't even know what we're up to anymore. But they keep making it better and better. Now, one of the things that a consequence of that is you can't upgrade your graphics card anymore. Why? Because the graphics card and the processing power of the computer is all built into one. But they cut out the power consumption way down, and they cut out the heat way down. So now you've got the A7 Mark V, which Randy has that, and Jim Monday has that, and that is looking to be like a winner chicken dinner camera, the A7 Mark V, because it's got the new processor, which has basically addressed the heat problem in a brand new way, but it's a la what Apple did with the M1 chip when they moved out of Intel and moved into the, we're going to make our own processor. That's what they did. Okay. So now, which camera has the AI processor and which camera doesn't? So the FX2, which we'll get to after this one, all right, it's going to come up. Let's see, where do I see where it's going to come up? Oh, just in 3 seconds. We'll be going from here. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We are on the FX2. So the FX2 has a fan built into it. The camera body has a fan built into the camera body. It's got the two processors, and then it's got the AI processor. And the AI processor is the same processing power like you would have in the A7R5, one of their better cameras out there, and those newer cameras. Now, the only one that's done away with the three processor layout is the A7 Mark V, and you're going to see that twinkle, 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 or tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. It's going to dribble down through their cameras. So when they make an FX2 Mark II, it'll have the new processor. When they make an FX3, which is a different type of camera, FX2 and FX3 don't mix, okay, in terms of the marketplace. But they got the same basic structure, and I like it. But you see a lot of people saying, I have the FX3 and I saw the FX2 and that's a lousy camera. No, you just have a lousy reasoning going on between the two ears that's in your head, okay? The FX2 is not an upgrade to the FX3. The FX2 is basically a A7 IV Plus, almost all the way to the A7 V that's out now. Actually, the FX2 has stuff in it that the A7 Mark V doesn't have. Okay, so it really is a genuine competition between the A7 Mark V and the FX2. But when the FX2 Mark II comes out, they're going to have this new Bion's XR whatever processor. And when they get the FX3 and they finally make an update for that camera, we are waiting for that. The people that have the A7S Mark III, the FX3, there's a third camera that's built on that same structure. A7S, FX3. What's the third one? Gosh, I can't remember. When those come out again, they will have the new processor. And it will take away the heat because it's all going to be inside one processor, and that processor is very powerful. If you look at the capabilities and abilities of the A7 Mark V, you will see it goes like from 10 frames per second shooting raw with the ability to focus and track all the way up to over 30 frames per second. I mean, the amount of power in the A7 Mark V is just, most people won't even use it. They'll have power in there they don't even know about. But it did knock out the heat because the A7 Mark V has no fan. it's a smaller body size, and it makes it a very interesting time to be alive. I'm sorry I'm 72, because in the next 10 years, I don't know if I'm going to be around or not. I'm not getting morbid. I'm just being honest, okay? And there's going to be all kinds of things. So the self-driving from Tesla, it's not going to stay stuck only in Tesla. The other car companies, they're all going to come out with it. But it's going to be 5 years and such before the other car companies come out with it. Now, NVIDIA, the right way to say it, they are shooting ahead in that same field. Would you believe they're making software and they're out there on the road? I saw a Mercedes that had it in there. And they are just, I would say, shorter than 5 years before they're going to be able to put that self-driving into the cars. So there's people that like to drive. They want the zoom, 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 da-da-da-da, okay? But there's a lot of people that will feel safer knowing that a computer that's 100,000 times faster than their eyes and their brains and can see out of 9, 10, 12 cameras where you're limited to 2, and we have to actually process everything that's going on and drive, okay? Well, some of us, we want that. We want to fling the car around the corner, bring the tail slide out, make it stop, and but most of us don't drive like that. It's going to be a safer world when you get these idiots that are driving 40 miles an hour in a 25-mile zone in the pouring snow. Okay? You put on self-driving, and it will take care of that for you. So we will actually be safer. So Simon is agreeing with Randy. Pay your credit cards off, Peter. Get your credit rolling again. Yep, this way I can spend up a fortune. Randy is talking to Louis Lazuka. How is your mom doing? Oh, yeah, she was having surgery. Thank you, Randy. That was very kind of you. So Louis's mom, I think she was having, he asked for prayers. I prayed right on the spot. When somebody asks for prayers, I'm going to pray. Catalina is her name. So why don't you just give us a little update, Louis, how she's doing, because we did pray. So Simon said he bought the 10 to 20, not a cheap lens. You bought it for Canon, right? I'm guessing you bought it for Canon. So I'm not aware of the pricing on that lens. So yeah, I would like to know a little bit more about that. And if it's not cheap, it might be big. They might have made it too heavy. So Randy's asking about that new Canon 45mm f1.2 lens. That lens is a sleeper. That will replace the 50mm for a lot of people. I would go to that. F1.2, gotta have it. Got to have it. Unless they did something really stupid on that lens, that is the lens to be going after. So Simon is saying he's got the 51.4, and that's pretty much a 47, so no need. But I do like the 45mm value. Yeah, the lens is cheaper, and it gives you more punch with an f1.2. As long as they didn't do a surprise move, okay, I would be very interested in that lens. I'd like to get the R6 Mark III in here, okay? So what does the R6 Mark III have that 90% of you would not guess? But it's my number one priority, and by giving you that hint, you might remember what it is that I find so important in a camera. And by golly, good Molly, Pollyanna, the movie, okay, it's in the R6 Mark III. I would have never guessed. They're listening to me. Canon doesn't like me. They used to love me. I used to be buddies with Chuck Westfall. What a wonderful man. And his wife when he got married, and then his daughter, who he loved intensely, and he did pass away, okay? So what a wonderful man. And Chuck would get on the phone with me, He would stay professional. We weren't buddy-buddy talking like old women, but he would give me a little extra attention, and I could tell. And we would, he'd be writing a white paper or something, and we'd be talking something about something. And then it flipped after he passed away. Canon got a new manager of Canon USA, and he labeled me that me and Fro Knows Photo are two of a kind, and he doesn't like either one of us. Me and Fro Knows Photo are opposite ends of the spectrum. Fro Knows Photo is you could pick the word out, not a good one. And I don't think I'm like that. Maybe I am, and I just don't see it. Okay? So I have inside people, and we can't mention who they are, can't talk about, can't even give a hint. Because it's CYA, all right, at Canon, and they are a mess inside the company. And my respect for them is down the tubes. Instead of being a happy company and employees looking out for each other and lifting each other up, it's like a worst office environment that you can envision. And that is a shame for a company that size and with that kind of power. So Simon is active with his fingers tonight. I'm waiting for the R7 Mark II. Yep. Looking forward to getting an APS-C camera. And if it's something that's coming out, it might have the gyro data in the camera, because to me that's key. I don't really look forward to having a camera without the gyro data being recorded in my video clips, because that gives me an added choice, which I often take, of running it through external software and getting stabilization that looks like I went out and bought an expensive gimbal, honestly. And to me, that's important. Like, I was a stickler for 4K, but Peter, why don't you shoot 1080? That's what people were telling me all the time. Nobody's watching 4K. But I knew 4K was out there. It gives me a better picture, and YouTube is broadcasting it, and I want 4K. That was my personal decision. So that is something that I was a stickler for. Got even into a big tiff. Actually, that was part of the separation of Canon and me. Got into a big tiff when Canon was not including 4K in their 90D. I even came up with a song, and I used to sing it. Oh, no 4K for you, and no 4K for you, and no 4K, no 4K, no 4K for you or me. Oh, no 4K for you, and no 4K for me, and no 4K, and no 4K, no 4K for you or me. So it put a bad taste in Canon's mouth towards me. Just like that guy from Delta, where they busted up his guitar. He made a song out of it, and it became a hit. My song never became a hit. I never recorded it. I never thought of it that way. I just wanted to make the point, Canon, everybody's giving 4K and you're not. What's up with that? What is wrong with you? So finally they put 4K in the 90D. They upgraded it, put 4K in there. Then they did something else. Okay? This is where we got into a spat. This is where the legal department called me from Canon. Okay? They contacted me is a better word. So when you put the camera in 4K and you output in 30p, it will say it's doing it, but it's not. It's actually outputting in 24p. So I started exposing that. It says 30p, but it's not 30p when I'm in 4K. When I go to 1080, okay, 30p is 30p, and 24p is 24p. But if I go to 4K, it's not. So and I said it was a bug, because there's something wrong. Why wouldn't it? It did not tell me it can't do it, and that's the bottom line. It can't do it. It cannot do it. Okay? That's the real data. Just like when they came out with the R5, and then they said, but it overheats. Okay? So the truth comes out in dribbles. So I said there's a bug, and then they said you have to retract that, and I said I'm not. So their final argument with me is they wanted me to take the video down. I did not. Still up there to this day. Okay? But their argument was, when have we ever given 4K through HDMI at anything higher than 24p? Well, that's a hell of an argument. We've never done it in the past, so you should know. Well, I didn't. Their claim is that they don't put anything higher than 24p out through the HDMI port, because all of my cameras here, so I got 4 cameras running. Well, actually, I didn't plug the one up there, so I got 3 cameras running right now. When I get up and plug the one, probably not. What time is it? Oh, no, I'm not going to go up and plug that. Okay, so it's almost 11 o'clock. So we just agreed to disagree. Now, I don't think that was ever updated. What they should do is not allow you to go into 30p when you're in 4K. That would be the honest thing to do. I'm not going to blame them that they don't want to in 30p. They don't want to give you 4K. Maybe the processor is not strong enough. Who knows what? I'm not going to make you breathe underwater because you can't. You're not a fish. But you can't lie. Okay? And say, I can breathe underwater anytime I want. Yes, I can. We have the ability to breathe underwater. We have 4K. So it became an issue. Not an issue anymore. I don't even know. I really don't even know if, even to this day, if Canon will output HDMI in 30p or 60p. Now, not recording in the camera. It will do it recording in the camera. But if you connect an HDMI like we got going here, all these cameras have to connect to the computer somehow. It's got an HDMI cable. It's going through a box. That box is connected to my M2, my Mac Studio M2. All right? And it's all running at 24p, so we're doing fine. But if my whole system was running at 30p, all right, and I had the Canon 90D in here, it wouldn't warn me that it can't do it. It would just say, yeah, no problem, and not do it. And I thought that was underhanded, sneaky lie. Okay? I feel strongly about that. So, back to you guys. Simon, haven't been here in a while, as I like to play with the wife on Friday nights. Okay. Now I know what's going on in Canada on Friday night. Okay, and now that it's cold, they're going to have to get closer. You got to stay warm. I mean, Liam, I don't remember how old he is now, but he's got the dog, and Simon's got his wife. And now they're going to be warm tonight. We're going to be warm tonight. Okay, so I like to play with my wife on Friday nights. Now, his wife, her name is Susan, she works hard. You want to meet somebody that works hard, long hours and hard, that would be Ordinary Filmmaker's wife. So you give her a shout out on his channel at what a wonderful wife she is. Because she is. She's fantastic. Okay, so Lewis says, Mom is preparing for surgery this coming Wednesday and needs prayers. Amen. Thank you so much, family. Oh, I thought it happened the next day. I don't know how I got that in my head. I better put this down. Okay. So this coming Wednesday, her name is Catalina. And so we'll pray for her, cover her with the body and the blood of Jesus, the healing power of Jesus, the recovery power of Jesus, that the surgeon's hands would be guided properly, insight, ability to see, all of that, all those blessings to be on Catalina now, and especially on Wednesday when that surgery happens, that the Lord is with her the whole time. And all those that agree say amen. So Randy's talking to Simon. The only APS-C cameras that I own now is the 6100 and the 6700. I do own the D500, which is a great camera. Woody has that camera. Also, rest of the cameras, the rest of the cameras that he's got are full frame. So, and Randy is talking to Lewis. May I ask what type of surgery? She's having surgery. I think he said it. I believe he said it was on her arm. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. Just watch the bottom here, and if I'm wrong, he'll take it. He'll say it. So Simon is saying, I like my full frame cameras, but I miss APS-C too. But Canon doesn't have anything I like now. The R10 and below are too small. The R7 isn't enough for me. So if you like the APS-C camera for its physical size, you're correct. But if you just like the APS-C, on this camera I have the button. It's not on this one. Oh, the C1. When I press the button, I have it assigned to go from full frame to APS-C mode. I just push this button and I'm in APS-C mode. And I'm pretty sure Canon's got that same ability. It would surprise the heck out of me if you can't assign a button to switch back and forth between full frame and APS-C. And the advantage of that is it's a better quality picture if you APS-C in the camera rather than blow it up in Lightroom or Final Cut Pro. But I cannot guarantee that you've got that ability, but I would be shocked if you can't manually go into APS-C mode. Because you could put an APS-C lens on the R1, Mark 1, Mark 2, and it'll drop down into APS-C mode. So I know it can do it. Now, whether it can do it on command is a different story. Okay. So Simon is giving us words of wisdom, and yes, they are wise, especially to me. I'm happy with what I have now, and that's important, okay? Because if we're not happy with what we have now, we're going to be spending money. Spend less time in the studio and get your ASS out there and shoot some pictures. Randy says, I want a full frame size battery in an APS-C camera. I want a full frame size battery. So a good example of that in the Sony line would be the FX30, full size battery. The 6700, the A6700, full size battery. The Canon R8, not a full size battery. Why not? But it's a full size camera. It's not a crop camera. So does the R7 have a full size battery? It might. It might. I'm not sure. But anyway, he's looking forward. And here's my nephew, King. Hi, King. Good evening, Uncle Peter. Good to see you. Love you. Thank you for being here. I love everybody that's in here. So thanks for saying hi. Yeah, full frame battery is what Simon is saying. An APS-C camera is good. The R7 uses the same battery. Yeah, so he's answering the question on the spot. So the R7 camera is a full-size battery, same as the R1, same as the R6 Mark II, Mark III. The all of them use that same size battery in that form because they also have the big cartridge batteries too. So Friday night celebration. Yep, we are celebrating. Who is it? Three Dog Night? Celebrate. One of those. So Randy said, I sold all my Canon gear thinking of selling the Panasonic gear too. Well, I've got my Panasonic gear up for sale. That doesn't mean it's a bad camera. It means that the lens lines that I'm going to grow is going to be the Sony. Because Sony gives me double, what do they call it when you can do something in two places? So I have the adapter that goes on the Nikon body, and I can use my Sony, like this Sigma 10 to 18, okay? The Sigma 10 to 18, if I have it in a Sony mount, it will fit onto the Nikon, which makes the Nikon move ahead by huge amounts. So I actually have the Sony 10 to 20 millimeter f4 lens, and I have the Sony 11 millimeter f1.8 lens, and on a Nikon camera, it's gonna be magic, 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 like the ZR. Okay, so that adapter just packs a wallop. It really does. Okay, so where did I leave off? Okay, so Simon is going to sleep. He's heading for the bed, guys. I have 3 videos to record tomorrow. And yeah, that too, huh? I'm too cheap to switch systems. Too costly. But if you like what you got, then you're just making jokes at this point, okay? But if you don't like what you got, let's see. Which way does my shirt need to go? Yeah, I want to get those wrinkles out. Me no like the wrinkles. It's a pretty blue shirt. Looks good on me, actually. Or I should say I like the way it looks on me. So Hal is saying, she said, thank you very much. Oh, that's Debbie. Now I know what he's talking about. Thank you. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Hal. Because the whole microphone system and the equalization of my sound system in here is done by Hal. Okay, so Hal has been a huge help. And then Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, he's helped me getting, some of the things set up with Ecamm. So everybody in our family is just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. The love that ping pongs around here is terrific. So King is saying, Simon, do it. Bail out or ball out and get the mini LF. I don't know what the mini LF is. When he tells me, I'll go, oh, I knew that. So Randy is saying, ordinary filmmaker, I owned the Canon, the Leica, the Nikon, the Panasonic, the Sony, and the Fuji. I will probably stay with Sony and Nikon only. I have a question for you, Randy. I should have asked it a week ago. Okay. Have you played with, or do you have the, well, you don't have, but have you played with the C50 from Canon? Because that one is full gyro recording, just like my FX2. So the FX2, I could take it out if I so choose to do, which I do. Some people like Randy would not. Okay. And that reminds me of Gerald Undone. The dynamic active image stabilization seems to have taken a step forward even with the A7 Mark V over all the others. Possibly not the FX2, but I'm not sure about that. But he actually showed what a big step forward the dynamic active stabilization system. So if that system is, let's say, in the A6700, which I don't know if it's in that one. I don't know if it's in the FX30. I don't think it's in the FX30. So, well, wherever it is. Well, here. With this, the dynamic active image stabilization that's in the A7C Mark II. Well, the A7 Mark V, they took one step forward on that. He is saying, oh, King, I hope you made the right prep for the weather. The weather seems to be a very serious thing. Okay, so all jokes aside, if you've got weather coming through, now I've been through many, many hurricanes. You have to prepare. You can't make the judgment up front, judge wrong, and then fix it during the storm. So I'm giving you that warning now, and even now it's a little on the late side. So you need to prepare if you have a power outage, how to heat your house. Okay. I just saw something. I don't know if it'd be a safe thing to say because I don't want anybody to die because of me. But they showed alternative ways to heat your house if you have a power outage. You can look that up, so this way you don't get the information from me. But it was pretty clever, something I did not expect to see. Okay. So you need to prepare for food because you're not going to jump in the car and go to the store. And even if you do jump in the car and go to the store, you should see how empty the shelves look when we're preparing for a hurricane here. The water aisle, it looks like they bought a new shelving unit. It's completely empty. The bread aisle, completely empty. Okay, whatever aisle the tuna fish and stuff like that is, nothing on there. A scattered can or two, sparse can or two. So you'll just start using that after your storm is done. Your pipes could freeze. You should have water in the house. Get a case of the water bottles. Okay. Sly is a big believer in lots of water. So you do need to prepare before. Like when a hurricane is coming, we need to prepare before. And the reason for that is we can't go out during a hurricane and go and get that emergency thing that we need. So you do it now before. And it's Friday night and it's 11:11, so you got Saturday. You'll be fighting those last minute people that realize, oh, we have to get this for the storm, the cold, and everything that's coming through. We have to go to the storm and get it now. You'll be fighting the crowd. Okay? So don't forget water, food, heat, blankets. I don't live up north, so I don't know what else you would need in the cold. Okay? But water would be important because if your pipes freeze, you're not getting water. How are you going to drink? What are you going to drink? Coke? For like 4 days? Yeah, okay. What am I going to say? So, King said a very smart thing, very short little sentence, but it packs power. I hope you made the right prep for the weather. Please take it seriously. Okay, you are like family to me. Some of you are going to go through the cold, and you need to have the things on hand that you need to have. Just do it. Don't debate it. Just get it done. Okay? And here we go. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be -25. Now, if your house is nice and warm, the electricity's up, the power lines didn't snap, and your boiler and your propane or your oil tank is got plenty of oil, because they ain't going to come out tomorrow and put oil in your tank. Okay? And the people that are rushing, they're going to buy everything that's on the shelves. So, you got to do it. Consider it an emergency situation. So, Hal is paying a compliment to Simon. I love the news from you. Yep. Randy says the coldest town in Siberia is -60. I don't even know what that means. I would imagine it'd be hard. It would be painful to breathe. So Simon is saying thank you to Hal. Got 2 for next week and 3 to record tomorrow. Liam is as tall as his mom right now. Oh my God. I know that boy from when, not a baby, but a little older than a baby. Love that kid. Love that kid. But he's grown away from me and we haven't talked. So when we get on the phone, it's not that warm, I trust you, Uncle Peter feeling anymore. But that would have happened anyway because as he gets older, it happens. I've been working too hard, Peter. Did try to call you before Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Simon. Randy says the coldest major city in Siberia and widely considered the coldest city in the world is Yakutsk, the capital of something republic. I'm not going all those words. I'm going to make a mess. Where winter temperatures regularly drop -40. Well, they probably know how to deal with it. I don't. I wouldn't know what to do. Well, I have an idea. Power never goes out here in the winter. That's why it's called an emergency, guys. Not only Simon. You don't know what's going to happen, and if it happens, you have to have an alternative. You're the dad. Have the alternative ready. That's all I'm saying. But if I know Susan, she could feed you guys for a week with what you got in the house now. Have reached extreme lows of -64.4, which is my 83, -83. Oh, don't do that, Randy. I need my blanket now. I feel cold. But if it does go out, shut off the water at the main, fill the bathtub to drain the system. There you go. So he knows what to do. Turn on the stove and have a fan blow the hot air out of the kitchen. That's another good plan. I've actually done that because we don't have heat in this house. We're in Miami. There's no reason for heat. And one winter, I think maybe 2 years ago, the power went out, and our stove is a gas stove. So I took all the pots and pans off, okay, and I turned on all of the 4, stoves, and then I stood there with a cardboard. We didn't have electricity. And then when the power did go on, I did exactly what he said. I put, actually this taught me something. You know those blower fans where to dry the carpet or something, or they got like a snoot here. Stanley makes one, and there's a few other. Lasco makes one where you can turn them up. Well, I put one on the floor and I turned it up, which means it blew straight up to the ceiling. And this was right after the power outage. The power came on, but the house was cold, and I was heating the house with the stove top, And when the power came on, I put that fan and faced it up. The air went up like a column, and it blew all the air at the top and came back around down the sides. And you felt the warm air hitting you from all the 4 sides because the hot air goes up and stays there. So if you're up near the ceiling, you're nice and warm. If you're down here standing where I'm sitting now, you're cold. So I learned that hot air rises. I mean, we learned that. We all know that. But now I saw it in practice when I put one of those blowers and made it blow straight up, a column of air blowing straight up. Not the kind of fan that goes this way and this way. I mean the kind where you can aim it up or down, but you can also aim it complete, 90 and blow it straight up, and it hits the ceiling. The air runs across the ceiling, takes all the air that's up there with it, which is nice and warm, and then comes down the side of the walls and eventually makes it back to the fan where it goes up again. Okay? And I was stunned at how much hot air was coming down the walls. The ceiling is just full of that hot air from the stove. Anyway, I learned something and felt it. I felt it in my fingers. I felt it in my bones. If you really love me, come on and let it show. Mm-hmm. I've experienced -40. I don't know how you guys can deal with that. I imagine that my throat would hurt or burn from the heat. So I'm being careful not to tap my chest because I'm used to the lav mic. I don't have a lav mic anymore. Thank you, Howl. I have what they call an ear set mic. And he equalized it for me. So this cold weather should help cameras that overheat. Well, there's a silver lining to everything. Right, King? Right, big guy? There's got to be a good thing in everything. Simon says, I have open gate when I walk. Yeah, as you're walking, you are open gate. Just focus on the stuff a little farther away. Ah, my buddy Jim, the traveling man. I'm a traveling man, I'm a traveling man. And I hope he is home when he can. It's Friday night and it's gonna get cold. Be ready for the cold. By the way. Oh, Ordinary is saying hi. Ordinary filmmaker. Simon is saying hi to you, Jim. He's saying hi to you. Don't fall asleep on me, Jim. Don't fall asleep on me. He goes to sleep early. He's an early riser. I'm a late riser. The FX2 does look nice, Peter. Well, this is one of the first time I have it in here. So I will be looking at it tonight after I'm finished. And I will try to tune in whatever it needs to get tuned in. Sony gives some of the best pictures. It does. So Jim is saying hi back to Simon. You guys are so nice. Boy, if we were all in one room, it'd be awesome. It took to getting the R5 II to understand why people were harping on the Canon Log 2 for years. Yeah, it's wonderful and powerful codec. Between the Canon Log 2 and Log 3 in Canon, I would take Log 2 anytime. And I actually secretly ran Log 2 instead of Log 3 in here when I had the R6 Mark II. And even before that, what camera did I have? I had another camera before that. That was a Canon. And yeah, the Log 2 gave me that amazing picture. It really did. It was the creme de la creme. Then they did away with it and they made Log 3, and it's supposed to be easier for people to work with the Log 3. Norm is in here. Norm, I think I missed you for a week or two. Merry Christmas, Peter. Good evening, Greggies around the world. You going to get hit with that cold and the winds and the bad storm that is in the news right now in full force? Because I think you're on the West Coast or the East Coast of Canada. I know you've answered that before. Don't get mad at me. I just don't remember. So Simon is saying hi to Norm. See, you guys know each other. I love that. So Randy says, hunker down this weekend, folks. It's gonna be cold outside. I got to go home, but baby, it's cold out there. Please leave me alone, but baby, it's cold outside. We're hunkering together, hunkering together. Simon says, hunker down. I'm heading outside tomorrow in the negative 25 with the R5 II. Oh, you're going to get some good shots. And the 25105, and I'm going to test out that new firmware. You go. Simon, go. That's funny. He says, I got my minus 40 boots, my minus 60 coat, my proper mitts. I just hope the camera lasts. Well, will the camera act negatively in that weather? Or are you just going to be out there that long, you're going to freeze everything that's external on your body? Yeah, even that. Okay? You want to have fun on Friday night? You better stay warm. Okay? So anyway, I can't fluster him, so I'm not being nasty. I've talked to him on the phone. He's not flusterable. And he's Mark in the heart of it. He's right in Chicago. Chicago, how's it going, Peter? Could you remind me what's your streaming set up? What hardware and software do you use? Oh, that part. Because the cameras do change. Okay? As a matter of fact, from Wednesday till now, the cameras changed. I thought this was sold. Okay? So I took it out of the loop and I put the FX2 in its place, but I moved it where the Olympus is, and then I moved the Olympus over to where this was, but the ZV-1 is the only thing that's in the same place. So Wednesday, 2 nights ago, this camera was in my hands. Okay? Now it's where the Olympus was, and the Olympus moved to the other side of the room. So, but that's not what you asked me. You asked me, what are you running? All right. So I got 4 cameras that run in 4K. They have to get plugged into something. So on the Apple side of the world, you can't buy a card and put it into your on your Apple. Like I have the Studio M2, 32 gigs. Okay. So what you have to do is you use Thunderbolt. Think of Thunderbolt like a PCI Express slot. In the Windows computer, you open the case and you've got slots, and they have PCI Express slots. You don't have that with the Mac system, but the Thunderbolt 4 and whatever they're up to now is technically a PCI Express slot. It's a direct cable right to the motherboard. Okay, so now you need something that you could plug into that Thunderbolt port, because you got more than one, you got 2, all right? And they usually run separately, and that's important because you can overload one and have the other one still free. All right, so I have a box called Sonnet, Sonnet, and if you go back a couple of months, all this stuff is listed someplace, all right? Either in the big channel or in here. So I have a Sonnet box, and the Sonnet takes 2 slots, 2 PCI Express slots. And one of them is the controller, so you basically have 1 slot left. And in the other slot, I have a Blackmagic HDMI recorder, 4K, and it gives me 4 HDMI plugs, like you would have in a card that you would put into a Windows computer. So that card goes into the Sonnet box. The Sonnet box replaces the fact that the Apple will not accept the PCI Express Blackmagic recorder card. Okay, and it runs to my box, which is right here underneath my feet, my computer, and by a Thunderbolt 4 cable. Now, the surprise is the Thunderbolt cables don't go very far. So your box and your computer have to kind of be together. So cameras, HDMI to a Blackmagic recorder. I used to have the box. It's over there. I can't reach it. Okay. But it's called a Blackmagic HDMI quad recorder. Means it gives me 4 independent HDMIs. It goes up to 4K 60p. That's its capability. It outputs, it goes into a PCI Express slot. So that card is plugged into that Sonnet box. Okay, and make sure you don't get the Sonnet that's half height. It needs to be the full height Sonnet. And that is the system that's running here. So all that crap gets funneled into the computer, and I'm using Ecamm as the software where it recognizes all these cameras and controls everything that I get controlled. So there's really no shortcuts to it. On the Ecamm, you can use OBS. That would be a shortcut. You're smart. You could probably use it, but most people probably can't use OBS that well. So I don't think I've skipped anything other than the fact that I have all the cameras running on dummy batteries so that I don't charge or recharge my batteries once, twice, 5 times a week, depending on when I turn everything on. Okay, so I have dummy batteries. You could still use the regular batteries if you want. Doesn't matter, except that you'll run out of power. And you can also, if your cameras have USB-C power input, you can power input them through that. So I pretty much just in 3 minutes explained my whole system. So I don't think I could do any better than that. Tell me if I didn't answer your question, Mark. Jim says, I'm thrilled with my 1.8. 1.4 would make my head spin. Well, there's a 1.4 on here right now. Okay. And if you think that would make your head spin, wait till you get your hands on a 1.2, which you probably won't, but that's fine. But 1.8 is a sweet spot. It's especially with the 85 that you've got that goes with the A7C. Yep. Send the A7 IV here. I'll put it in the loop. Since it's not going to be used for anything other than to broadcast, that A7 IV ain't no slouch. It's a wonderful camera. So, but now you've got two. You got the A7 V and the A7 IV and the E10. And you've got quite a studio going there, young man. I don't remember if you've got Ecamm, but I think you do. You got good stuff over there, Jim. Good stuff. The sports corner, Peter has an MX2 Max. Oh, he's reiterating what I've got. Okay. Yeah, the one camera that's not plugged in right now is the fourth one. And when I say plugged in, I mean an extension cable. It needs to be plugged in to power on. Everything else is running fine, except the extension is over there and I forgot to plug it in. So what that gives me is an overhead camera, which I'm not going to go to because it's dark. Dark, not darkness, it's off. There's no power running to that one. Okay. Bop, bop, bop. Looking for asterisk. Bum, 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 bum. I'm missing something, Mark. I don't see where you wrote looking for. I bet it's something that YouTube filtered out. So you need to put that in again and figure out what's wrong, because I don't see that correction that you want to make. See, when he puts looking for asterisk, that means he wrote something. So I'm just going to go back and make sure, because the thing is kind of far. How's it going, Peter? Could you remind me what your streaming setup is? Okay. What hardware and software do you use? So I don't see where the looking for would go in there. That means we're missing a... and I didn't do it, I promise. Okay. So Randy's asking you, Mark, what system are you using? Randy's saying amen to the prayer for Catalina. See, I'm learning to put all this stuff together. He's using OBS. All right, good. The only thing you didn't mention is which computer you're running it on. Yes, you did. ATM Mini. Oh, that's not the computer. Oh, the ATM Mini Pro and the Sony 6100. So you got good camera. You got good cameras. You've got good sound. I don't know what Video Ninja does. Okay. So I have seen your videos. I just haven't gotten that much into sports. A friend of mine has gotten into betting on this stuff. Always, if they made one more point, if they made one more score, he bets on the football and then he bets on the soccer also. But it's a shame because that money goes right out the window, and it's sad to see it, but it buys a lot of fun. So Randy is asking what lens you're running on the 6100. See, I knew that, Randy. And Mark is saying the 3.5 to 4, 16 to 50. All right, so that is the kit lens, the one that comes with it. And that happens to be a very good lens because it's a very light lens and it's easy to take around. And the f3.5 to f5.6 or whatever the numbers are, it doesn't bother the 6100, even if you get in low light. Make sure you are exposing properly, because when you have to bring it up a lot, that's when everything that's hiding, will surface. Okay. So Randy says that he also owns the FX30, another fine, mighty fine camera. Randy says, I tried to do OBS again. It was not satisfied. So I went back to EcammLive Pro. Ecamm, once you get into that, it's a bite to pay for it, but it does it. It does it. It really does it. If I buy a Canon C50, if I buy a Canon, comma, the C50 would be the camera. Good choice. Good choice. I'm surprised, Randy. So Sammy is here, and he's saying, hello, everybody. Hi, Sammy. Love you, buddy. I know you texted me, and I was sleeping. So I'm sorry about that. I know you have something coming out. You could put it here, just to tell people what it is. Sammy's saying, now I know Sammy's got the FX30, and he's saying the FX2 is a nice camera. So I'm going to have to say the FX30 is a nice camera too. So Sammy's patting me on the back, and I'm patting him on the back. Sammy, it's going to be cold this weekend. Yeah, you better protect yourself, Sammy. No getting cold. No thinking, oh, I can handle the cold weather. This is serious crap that's happening. So be extra careful. Everybody up north, okay? Think twice before you go outside. And he's saying yes to Randy. It's negative 35 degrees right now. Okay, so that is the kind of weather that does damage. So, Mark, I hope you're doing all right. You're in an apartment that's got plenty of heat. Water heater went down. Oh, landlord is having someone fixing it now. But overall, the weather doesn't bother me. Minus 35? Mark, seriously? Dang. That's amazing. Make sure your car is full of gas. If you lose power, it may be the only way to charge your cell phone. That's true. And if you lose power, the gas stations might not be able to pump you. Okay? So Randy is saying, my cousin Vinny was going to college here in San Antonio, but he was renting in a house that was old. We brought him an electric blanket, and he opened the door shirtless and shorts on. What can you do, right, Randy? Okay. I guess you got to learn. Oh, he was from Michigan, so I guess that explains it. So, Sammy, the FX2 looks amazing. Well, that's good news. Actually, I hope all of my cameras look good. Sammy has been cold. Come on, Sammy. Stay warm, buddy. Okay? That's important. You just went through a cold. It just popped into my head, just like that. So you need to be extra cautious. Think twice, okay? Because the weather outside is frightful. All right? No, the weather will get you. Before you realize it, something on your body is going to get colder than you wanted it to get. And I'm not being nasty. Not that thing. I'm talking about fingers, nose, earlobes, toes. Okay? So stay warm, guys. Randy is putting me to bed. There we go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Keep smiling. And I'll put an addendum to Randy. Keep warm. So, anyway, let's finish this out. Norm? Where's Norm? I just had him. Oh, there he is. I used to photograph snowmobiles. When it's so cold, the snow squeaks. You have to use an external battery pack in your parka to keep the camera working. There you go, Simon. There's a hint. Keep an external battery with you. I have shot in minus 40 weather. It can be done. There we go. We got someone that's been there, done that. And now he's saying, hello, Simon. Just mentioning it. Geez, you guys with all the minuses. 9 degrees here on Monday is practically a heat wave. I think there's something heading for you. Maryland has declared a state of emergency. New York has declared a state of emergency. So there's something a-coming. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I just know it's an emergency and people that I care about are in the way. So just be healthy. Be careful. Be safe. All right, guys, we got to the end of our show, and Randy will take us out now. Thank you for being here. How long has the show been going? An hour and 40 minutes. Boy, can I talk a lot. Dang. I was going to do I figured if I do a Wednesday night show and I do the Friday night show, I should be able to do an hour each night. That's 2 hours. And not get so wound up, because I really get wound up, okay? And lo and behold, an hour and 40 minutes. I want to do a short show. I want to do a short show. All right, so here we go, guys. We're going to say goodbye. Please be safe. Heed my advice. Listen to my voice in your head. Peter said I should double check before I go outside. You do that, Sammy, okay? And everybody else here. Because I love you guys. I don't want to hear about anything. And say a prayer for those, like Sly, that's under the weather. And she's going to go through the weather. Okay? So, as Randy says, thank you for watching. Stay safe. And keep smiling. I'm going to sing at the end. Because I want to be able to find where I sang to hear the reverb and see if it's good. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maria. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? How old are you now? How old are you? You never ask a woman's age. How old are you, Maria? All right, guys. Good night. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. And thank you for having my back, and I have your back. All right. Bye-bye.